Your touch makes my pussy as dry as sandpaper. You fucking monkey. I can't wait to kill you.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you will ever listen to. We are the creators of the Spooky Pit, the innovators of the Passion Bump, and we are taking you down the darkest rabbit holes of all things horror.
We talk about horror movies and then fuck them with comedy. I'm your host, Shane Hot Boy Smith. Sitting next to me is Brian Crystal Head Vodka LaGrasta, joined by Jen.
Thanks, Shane, you asshole. Welcome, spooky bitches.
We are reviewing the Vince Vaughn soon-to-be classic, Freaky.
Soon-to-be classic, huh?
I love this movie.
Yeah, it was interesting.
This movie's based loosely on Friday the 13th, and majority of the movie takes place on Friday the 13th, which they announced in the film, so they said the inspiration was Friday the 13th.
Yeah, two immediate movies that popped into my head.
Freaky Friday.
Well, besides that, I mean, that's the obvious one, but for the horror homage is the word, would be Friday, and you're going to think this makes zero sense, but My Bloody Valentine, because My Bloody Valentine also takes place on Friday the 13th.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, doesn't it?
It does.
And not only that, there's a countdown in My Bloody Valentine from before Friday the 13th to Friday the 13th.
Like this movie.
And this movie also has a countdown because it goes from the Wednesday, which is the 11th to the 12th to the 13th.
Yeah, we're math guys. Yeah, no, this is a good movie.
Horror comedy.
Yeah, very good movie.
If you like Vince Vaughn, and I know you do, if you think he's funny, and I know you do.
He's not a good serious actor.
Vince Vaughn is amazing.
Oh, actually, now that you say that, Domestic Disturbance wasn't good?
I never saw that one.
Okay.
I'm thinking of him.
Psycho?
Yeah, well, that was bad. And then he wasn't
I've seen him in a serious
terrible in True Detective.
No,
but he was my least favorite part of that season.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
in the Wild, he played a good role.
I just love Vince Vaughn.
Oh, he was one of the people he meets, right? When he's traveling cross country. You're right. He was pretty good in that.
Yeah, I like Vince Vaughn a lot.
Not actually his first serial killer role.
This movie?
He also played a serial killer as Norman Bates in the remake of Psycho 1998 and as Lester Long in Clay Pigeons 1998.
I have to check that out. That sounds interesting.
He also played a detective in The Cell.
Yeah, I'm actually currently watching that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I'm halfway through.
What do you think of it?
I like it.
Yeah,
I love D'Onofrio.
It got a very mixed reaction. I remember, but
D'Onofrio is amazing.
He's terrifying in that movie.
Fucking terrifying.
He's good. I'm such a big Vince Vaughn fan. Next to Bill Murray, I just need to shake both their hands before they die.
Yeah,
Bill Murray's incredible.
They're both amazing. I truly do believe that Bill Murray is one of the funniest people ever in movies. Yeah. But Vince Vaughn he's nowhere near Bill. He's high though. He's high for me.
Well, it's hard to be near Bill Murray for anyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Vince Vaughn, in my generation, I think he killed. I think he killed. In all of our generations.
Because everyone knows it from Dodgeball.
Dodgeball, yeah. Wedding Crashers is fucking hilarious. Fucking Starsky and Hutch as the bad guy.
Incredible. Couples Retreat.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Anchorman. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah.
So
you motorboating son of a bitch.
But yeah, he definitely plays a serial killer. It's very funny because there's a good old fashioned Freaky Friday body swap.
Yes. So let's talk about it by jumping right into the Spooky Pit.
Vince Vaughn is now a high school girl. This movie was released in 2020. It's directed by, I actually have no idea who this is directed by. I do not have it in my notes. Can you bring it up real quick?
Yeah, of course. The director is Christopher Landon. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's done some other stuff. Directed by Christopher Landon. It's a comedy horror. And it stars Vince Vaughn as the Butcher, Catherine Newton as Millie, Celeste O'Connor as Nyla Jones, Misha Ostrovich as Josh Detmer, Emily Holder as Sandra, and that's pretty much all you need to know.
Yeah. The None of these actors, besides Vince Vaughn, I knew.
Maybe there's the sister and the mother. The mother.
Well, the mother was in 9 episodes of Brockmire. But I got to go back to Christopher Landon because he directed 2 movies I really, really enjoyed. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You.
Anything else?
So that's what I'm going to get to. He also directed Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Movie is it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it has its funny moments. But now this is the one I wanted to get to because I know me and Brian have some things to say about this one. He directed Paranormal Activity.
The marked ones?
The marked ones.
Fuck that.
One of the worst
that was bad.
movies ever made.
It's bad. That and Ghost Dimension are fucking very forgettable in that series.
Paranormal Activity had 1 banger movie. The first one's very good.
The second one's okay.
And the third one's okay.
The third one is fucking scary.
Yeah. And then
I don't
know what happened to that franchise, but it fell off a cliff real fast.
I
mean, what do you think, Jen? Have you seen all the Paranormals or?
I have, and honestly, they blended together. I honestly couldn't tell you which is which, but I also took note. I didn't think they were as good.
Yeah, they were not.
Yeah, so I just kind of all blended together. I'm sure if I watched them, I'd be like, oh, I remember that. I thought that was this one, but I don't know. They just didn't give that. They didn't give that series to people who took care of it.
True.
Yeah, it's true. All right, so let's talk movie. It's Wednesday the 11th.
Yeah, let's talk Blissfield Butcher.
Yes, because we have a group of teens drinking it up at literally one of the nicest houses I've seen in a movie in years.
Yeah, they had a nice fireplace. It was nice. Was it Jill's house?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah, none of these people matter. I'm just going to say that right now.
Remember.
So the butcher killed some kids in the 90s. And he disappeared 20 years ago. They kind of just joke that it's just a story to scare kids during prom weekend, yada, yada, yada. You heard this all before.
A lot, and he does it during every year in Homecoming. He just doesn't like teenage debauchery. He kills based on your debauchery levels.
So you're saying he would have hated Debauchery Fest?
Yeah, Debauchery Fest would have been definitely attacked.
Wait, so when are we? Do you think we'll have Debauchery Fest this year?
We might. We already had a pre-Debauchery Fest, so we might have another one.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Debauchery Fest gets pretty wild. There's some slap fighting at Debauchery Fest.
Yeah, no.
Slap boxing.
Let's make this an official thing. Once a year, the final podcast hosts Debauchery Fest.
I'm about it.
Where everybody from the spooky pit just comes and slap fights.
Yes, and you can only drink
funny.
Crystal Head vodka.
Can you imagine the leprechaun just coming in and slap fighting everybody?
We just dress up as the fucking villains that we talk about.
Well, we have a great idea for a Halloween party.
Dude.
Debauchery Fest. We all dress up as the characters. We all slap box. We all drink Crystal Head. Maybe throw in a little Prosecco.
Oh my God.
Me and Melissa will only be drinking Prosecco.
That's fair.
It's fair.
That might trickle down.
We'll be the judges. We'll be the judges of Debauchery Fest.
That's true. We could give an award. They could win the spooky trophy for the best costume.
I like it. Maybe there'll be a passion bump at Debauchery Fest. Who knows?
Yeah, we should definitely give a passion bump.
Actually,
we can really go crazy with the pageantry here.
Yeah, I like it.
You know what this movie has that we haven't had in a while? We have a few passion bumps in this movie.
Fuck yes. I have a mega uber strong passion bump that was fucking was hoping for.
Yes.
We'll get to it. I watched this movie with young Dan, friend of the podcast from GKM, and there was and I think it's the same scene that you're referring to, Brian, where me and Dan were just like, no, wait, I didn't think it was going there. And then it went.
We were cheering it on.
I was praying for it so much so that when it happened, my erection popped through my jeans.
Yeah, that guy, that was that kid's dream. He lived the dream of so many people.
Yeah, that's a fact.
All right.
Let's get into it though, because we have a passion bump not too far off in the beginning.
That is true. All right. So a guy spills his drink on a girl. Classic party move. They go inside while the other two stay outside, and they make out a little bit. They'll make out.
There is some spit that's being swapped.
Yes. So when the other two go inside, they find this knife that's encased in this glass, and it's the Ladula knife.
It's Ladola.
Ladola.
The girl goes inside. The girl goes inside because the guy scares her and she spills her beer everywhere. So she's going to clean up. And then that guy, every other jackass, just walks into someone else's house and decides to touch all their priceless artifacts.
Yeah, and he's definitely messing around with the Dola.
Yeah, it's not the Dula.
It's an ancient knife. And then he goes wandering downstairs.
The knife also starts to glow a little red.
It's got a red glow to it on the hilt or like that. Like there's like a jewel in the tip of the knife.
Yeah, he walks past some spooky masks. One of the masks is missing. I caught that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job, Shane.
Thank you.
Well, you know that Isaac, who's the guy who's downstairs, is going to drop a wine bottle that's going to crack.
Yes, and
An
he
expensive wine
starts
bottle.
to blame. He blames the noise, and he's saying it was that girl that I don't remember her name.
It doesn't
it's
matter.
not important. And he's like, "Well, you made me do this." This is where you're going to learn for a comedy horror. A comedy horrors normally do this. The death scenes are fucking graphic and very brutal.
I thought you would love that.
I did. Because it reminded me of Tucker and Dale vs. Evil.
I was about to say that. That's
where
the one that
the death scenes are so graphic.
Cabin's okay. Like Final Girls, I mean, okay, it's an amazing movie. I'm saying like the kill wise. Final Girls is like okay, but like Tucker and Dale's got great kills, and so does this movie.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch Tucker and Dale.
It's so good. The guy who broke the wine bottle gets grabbed from behind, gets a wine bottle shoved down his throat, keeps shoving it down his throat, and then the bottle is smashed. And the glass shards impale out of his throat. I'm like, wow. Like right off the bat, I was like, I was not expecting this.
And right off the bat, I was like, I wasn't expecting this.
Thank you.
That
you
wouldn't
said exactly
kill him,
what
though.
I said. Couldn't even come up with your own thing.
It was crazy.
That wouldn't kill him, though. Something else would have had to kill him.
Wait, what wouldn't have killed him?
Having the wine bottle shoved down his throat?
It was shoved through the back of his neck.
Yeah.
Like completely through.
He would have eventually not been able to breathe.
Loss.
Yeah.
Blood loss.
Oh,
Oh no,
okay.
because I think wouldn't the blood have choked him and eventually killed? Is that how you died from that?
100%.
Because your
that
blood.
makes more sense.
I don't know the anatomy well, but
Well, you're not Brian, science guy.
Brian the doctor.
Nah, I went science guy.
But I feel like science is like. I mean, I guess it is all science technically. But
True.
I don't know.
A doctor would have been a better use of it.
Doctor would have been a better use of the word. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
You're right, Brian. In the bathroom, the girl doesn't open the door because there's like a lot of aggressive knocking and she's getting very upset. But she doesn't realize that the butcher's there and he's going to break down the door. And he puts her head on top of the toilet and bashes her skull in with the toilet seat until she's dies.
It's a bad way to go. At least the toilet scene looked clean.
Butt fucking.
Yeah, right?
You okay?
The next scene.
Oh, that's what they were doing?
What did you think they were doing?
Just having sex. I didn't realize it was a butt fucking scene.
It could go either way.
It really
Whatever
could have
they
went.
prefer.
Okay.
She's absolutely right. It could have went either way. We can't tell. We don't have that image.
It
I
is
can
based on your interpretation at that point. If you want it to be a butt fuck, it's a butt fuck. And if you want it to be just doggy style, it's doggy style.
Are we passion bumping the butt fuck?
I want to before we do, because it definitely is a passionate bump. But what Jen said is true because we haven't had a passionate scene, so my imagination was going for butt.
Okay, that's fair. Let's passion bump it.
These kids are probably underage though.
Passion bump. Passion bump. Passion bump.
Actually, hold on a second. No,
they're high school seniors.
Because they're high school seniors, so
Yeah.
that makes them 18 years old.
Yes.
Passion bump. Doesn't even nut.
No.
His taking too long. I was gonna say you're going too slow, but I don't think they were going slow.
I gotta call some fucking horseshit on this. A high school senior is gonna finish. There's no way a testosterone-riddled high school kid is not finishing. Unless
He
he's
was
got
like,
coke
give me
dick.
3 more minutes.
Unless he's got some serious coke dick.
I don't even think they were doing coke though. It looked like they were just drinking. So
Maybe he's like super like plastered.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well-
he might have like whiskey dick.
Yeah, maybe whiskey dick. That's the only thing I can think of. But she's not into it anymore. She's done.
Yeah.
And she's like, not even handy. And she's like, nah.
Yeah, but he is finished though because the killer comes up and breaks a tennis racket in half and stabs him with both ends. So he is now a tennis racket.
Something for sure.
She starts to run. He chucks a spear at her, and she dodges it.
A spear or harpoon? That was a spear.
It was definitely
right?
a spear. It was like a tribal spear.
Oh yeah, because of her dad's collection.
Yeah, he has all like tribal stuff. She hides in Narnia.
Yo!
Wait, no. So she shuts the door because in like horror movies, they're not supposed to be able to penetrate the first door. And he just like busts through that Kool-Aid Man style. And that I had to rewatch that because I was like, door isn't stopping this one. He's like, no, I can break this. Who told you I couldn't break this?
He does. That's right before he breaks right through that fucking... He just jumps right through it for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought the same thing about the closet and the Narnia thing back there. But it's not a secret passageway out the other side. It's just like a little cubby hole.
It's a little cubby hole.
Because she comes back out the front of the closet.
Yeah, it literally looked like it's almost like a closet panic room. Like just somewhere to hide if there's an intruder.
She should have stayed there for longer. She didn't want to die.
That's the thing. She knew her parents were coming home. Like, I would have just hid back there the whole time.
Is this like one of those things where, like, you're Jodie Foster or daughter and you need to hide in the panic room because Jared Leto may or may not be in your house?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of, actually. And my daughter is definitely Kristen Stewart.
That's right. Yeah, I always forget that.
Your daughter's Kristen Stewart?
Well, in the panic room, yes.
In the panic room, yes.
Shane has admitted to his daughter.
Everything I say.
So, when she, like, leaves the closet, she's, like, creeping through the house. But what she doesn't plan for is that her mother and her father are home, and they're honking. Why are they honking outside? I don't know, but they're honking. So she's like, oh, they're home. She makes a run for it. But the problem is she runs right into the butcher.
Yeah, and the butcher throws her right into the wall spear.
That's a wall spear?
Well, that was the spear he threw at her originally.
Gotcha. Yeah, he throws her up like he's hanging a fucking coat on a hook. He just throws her up on there.
She's the coat.
And then he stares at Ladola, the knife, the glowing knife.
It kind of like calls to him.
It does. It is calling to him. I don't know if that was like him hearing that or that's an audible call, but I think from the way the movie works, it does have like an audible sound to it. And the parents are home now, and her mother's like, she better not have any boys over. And the father's so funny. He's like, I swear if she fucking... And then he like immediately just stops. And he's interrupted because they see their dead daughter.
Yeah. And they scream.
That worked out nicely.
And then the screen is going to pan over to a glass case that is now broken, and the Dola is missing.
Yes. And now it is Thursday the 12th.
And it's breast.
It's breast?
I was going to say it's breastfast. It's breakfast at the Kessler house.
What if they're having breastfist, though?
Breastfist is...
Sounds like something Dale would participate in.
You know what breastfist is? It's like pancakes shaped like boobs.
Oh, okay. That's probably easy to do.
Double the pancake.
It's double the pancake, really.
I like it.
You love it.
Yeah, I love pancakes.
You love tits too, Shane. You're a tit guy. You an ass guy or a tit guy?
Probably definitely a tit guy.
Jen, ass or tit guy? Or ass or tit girl, sorry.
I can appreciate both equally.
I'm an ass guy, but I like lips. I'm a lip guy.
That's fair. No, I mean, a good ass is great, but...
I like equal proportions. Like, I don't like when one is too big or too small, but, you know, if you have one that's too big or too small, you know, flaunt it. Right. Got it, flaunt it.
Dick or ass?
On a guy?
Yeah. Like, what's the feature?
The feature that you look for immediately, probably look at the ass first.
Okay. No, I had to ask. I literally... Look, who else am I going to ask, Shane? My mom? Like, honestly.
I'm still laughing over it. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that.
Thanks, Jen, for the insight.
Probably the ass, because that's what you can see first. It has to fill out the jeans.
Yeah, because you're not wearing like cleavage shorts.
But here, and Jen, I heard this, and I need to confirm this.
Okay.
Are gray sweatpants a girl's best friend?
Gray?
That's what I fucking heard.
Is it because I'm wearing gray sweatpants right now?
Nothing to do with
you. If they're dark gray.
When girls check out guys, gray sweatpants are a girl's best friend.
I'll have you know, I have light gray, dark gray, and black
phrase.
Sweatpants.
I've never specifically heard that phrase, but if I see a nice booty and a nice pair of gray sweatpants, I'm not complaining.
That's fair.
I think my ass pops in these sweatpants.
I think the whole idea...
You want to show us?
No. No.
The whole idea is I think it's supposed to be revealing more than regular sweatpants.
It hasn't worked for me yet.
Yo, why are you looking at me like that?
I'm giving you the eyes.
You're giving me some shit.
You see these gray sweatpants, bro?
Yeah, Shane's asking you to look at his butt, Brian. Least you can do is look at his butt.
All right, for you, Brian.
Was it your finger that Shane sucked?
Yes.
Perfect.
Shane's got a good ass. Right there, it's a good ass. Yeah, for sure.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, it was not bad. My ass, I have a smaller, more firm ass. It's definitely firm. It's not the best ass, though.
Okay, speaking of asses, we're eating breakfast. They actually, before she goes to school, don't they discuss prom during the scene? Yeah, that she's not going to.
It's homecoming, I think. Yeah, she ain't going to homecoming because she's going to go to the Anus Theater with her mom.
No, you mean the Anus Theater.
Something. I'm going to call it the Anus, you mean.
Oh, yeah.
The Anus. What are we going to the Mediterranean? What the hell is the Anus?
We're going to Uranus.
I'm retarded.
And her dad, I think, passed away. I don't think you really find out how he passed away, do you?
No, but they just
There's
mentioned it was a year ago.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe he went to fucking a noose and never came back. Shipped him on a one-way ticket.
I'm pretty sure that mom bought him the worst polo he's ever worn, and it killed him.
It's a fact.
Oh, dear. Did you mention that we met her sister? I think we met.
Oh, yes. Her sister is a cop named Char.
Yeah, and she's obviously got an edge towards the mother. It's very apparent from the beginning scene.
They also pan in on a empty bottle of wine in the garbage, so the mom's been drinking since the death of the dad.
Little subtext. It's still fresh in their minds. The mother wants them to have these family meals because I guess they're the only pieces of family she has left, so she's trying to keep everybody close together. It's very upsetting, but it's nice that she's trying to blend the family together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're at school, and we meet... I'm going to just be honest. We meet black friend and sassy gay friend.
I just want to say off the bat, usually I hate one or two characters in a movie, but I love all the characters.
Right?
Josh is fucking hilarious.
He's so funny.
And I think her name is Nyla.
Yeah.
In my opinion, is an absolute smoke show.
Oh, definitely.
Thank you. What do you think?
I thought she was fine. I didn't...
Was it Benanti?
It's Benanti.
Benanti was like not thinking like she was like he thought it was okay. I'm like, this girl's gorgeous.
She's
so I'm in the
beautiful.
Benanti. I think she's a good looking girl. I wouldn't say she's a smoke show, but
every character did such a good job in this movie. Like no one was overtly we believe what's happening or blah blah blah. Like they did this movie so much justice, and I was so happy about it.
Yeah, I thought she was hot. Really,
definitely. Oh, she's great.
Yeah, but they were good though. Like the actors were really funny and they were really good. I think at this point of the movie, Josh was trying to get Millie to go to the dance, right?
Yeah, but she says like she can't. She has to go with her mom. Or like her mom's been pretty
begging
bummed
her.
out.
Yeah.
Because of the dad.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention that Josh really likes Mr. Daniel's black wiener. But
yep, that is a plot point actually.
I love it's such a good line.
I know, it was funny.
He has some really good lines in this.
He's hilarious. Movie. And I love the part where he likes to turn straight men gay at the dance. So he's looking forward to doing some of that. That's always a fun time.
Which comes back.
It does.
Booker's gonna be there.
Booker's a hot dude.
He's a hot dude. He doesn't even know that she exists.
Yeah, Millie, it's a real shame.
Even though they have a class together.
They literally sit next to each other in a class.
Yeah, and they actually speak to each other every time they're in the class together. He clearly knows she exists.
Yeah.
When they're in school, isn't this when Ryler? Yes. Ryler is
about 2 feet tall.
Yeah, she's basically your typical high school
mean girl.
Yeah, she's a mean girl. Yeah.
There's a little crew of mean girls in this movie.
Yeah. She's just a bitch.
Yeah,
that's literally her role in the movie.
But like they make it out like that she's like getting bullied. I don't know if it's because of what happened or she's just like a loser. I'm getting it. She's just like a quote unquote loser girl.
She reminded me of Totally Awesome because they make fun of her for like wearing something from this clothes. It's like
Discount Bonanza.
She's dirty. She's poor. She makes her own clothing.
I was thinking the same thing because actually when she was walking down the hallway, I'm like, this girl makes her own clothes.
Yeah,
but she just buys them from Discount Bonanza.
Yeah, because that's where her mom works.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then that one kid goes by her and she's just like the awkward shy kid and he just barks at her.
Yeah, fucking dude. Fucking Twin Peaks barks at her.
I'm like, is this Bob from The Mirror?
Yeah, it's so funny.
So then she gets to wood class shop late and she
gets creamed by her.
This guy's insane.
This guy is straight out of a fucking Stephen King book. I'm like, this is not a real person right now.
Yeah, no. The wood shop teacher is every Stephen King bully into one character.
Phil. Yeah, he's presenting a
pooch pad.
A pooch pad, which is basically a mock sex house
for dogs.
Made out of wood. And then he's like, okay, who goes next? Millie, your presentation. She's like, my presentation is not for another week. He's like, you better get your ass right over there and fucking present. And I'm like, this guy's not a real person right now.
Yeah, no, because he keeps saying oh, I guess you're not prepared. No shit, she's not prepared. She had another week to do the presentation.
What's happening?
Literally the worst teacher in history.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy is literally insane.
And at this moment, all the kids get a text that 4 of their classmates have been murdered.
Then the rest of the classmates, they'll get this text. It's an anonymous alert to all the classmates that 4 other teenagers were murdered.
I just said that. What are you doing this episode?
And then Millie
so in this, they get an anonymous text that all 4 of this group of kids. They've just been murdered.
Yeah, this bit is sick, guys. This is a sick bit. You know, there's a video of Ryler crying. You guys want to say that too?
So there's this video of Ryler crying.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'll let you take it, Brian.
It's a slaughterhouse. That's what Josh
Would you
said.
call this a slaughter high?
Oh, yeah. Slaughterhouse. Josh was like, it could be the Blissfield Butcher, and they'll have to cancel Homecoming, but they can't because it's like Christmas around these parts.
So cut to Homecoming football game. It's happening.
Yeah, and Millie is the mascot. She's a dancing beaver.
So at this point, I don't feel bad for her now that she gets bullied. She's doing it to herself.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, who doesn't love Beaver? But I wouldn't want to dress up as the Beaver mascot.
The only thing they do in this scene to make fun of her is they throw an apple at her. As if that's like the funniest thing in the world.
And yeah, and some guy's like, that's the only beaver I wouldn't touch. I'm like, sure, dude.
Okay.
I'm sure there's others, but
I'm sure this guy fucking touches
zero beavers.
Yeah, I was saying, this guy gets zero beaver.
He has a barn full of beavers in his house.
Oh my god. It's pretty much what the butcher has.
Literally.
I do love like how exaggerated all the villains are. Like literally every
Yeah,
villain is a Stephen King villain.
Yeah, it's funny. He's like, if you brown bag her face, she'd be doable. But she's not even like ugly.
No, she's not. That's one thing. Like, and I think they probably, since this movie is basically like
It's a parody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like all the time they make these like super hot girls. So like, man, she's ugly. Like,
Yeah.
she's
I know what
like
you're
in the
saying.
top like 10% of like hottest people in the world. The football game ends and she's walking with her friends. She's gonna wait for a ride. They say, you can come with us, and she's like, no, it's all right. My mom's coming to pick me up. Little did she know her mom is passed out drunk on the couch.
She should have seen this coming a mile away.
She should have known better.
Yeah. So she just is sitting on the bench waiting. She calls her mom to no answer a few times. So then she calls her sister, but the phone dies before she can tell the sister to pick her up.
And the lights go out where she
Yeah.
is.
And then she looks across the street and she sees the butcher.
She's like, I hope it's not the butcher.
The Blissfield Butcher, was it?
Yep.
Okay.
I hope it's not. I mean, he is holding a knife, so
It's him though.
it is.
And he literally just he comes at her.
Well, he's
Like,
not scared by the fact that she's like, my sister's a cop. She's coming in. She has a gun. He's like,
Yeah.
You're in a beaver costume.
It's like, I could catch you. But he can't because she hides under the bleachers.
Drink some water.
Take all the time you need.
so,
Could you imagine if he spit that all over his laptop?
He's done it before editing.
I think
Oh no.
I think a bug went in my mouth.
Ew.
Oh God, was it the one from this morning you showed me?
Holy shit. That thing was huge.
Did you kill it, or
I had Damien kill it. I actually couldn't kill that thing. It's too big. I was too scared.
I wouldn't have been able to go near it?
You know
So
how hairy it was?
yeah, how'd he kill it?
They run fast. It was
Yeah.
like this ginormous, I don't even know what you call it. It's fucking hairy. It was like a fucking
Ew.
ginormous, some kind of a peed.
Yeah,
Like
It
a
was
silverfish?
peedish.
it was like you know small silverfish you can get in your house. Add like 10 times the size of one of
You have
those.
the picture. You could just send it to her later.
Oh yeah, I can do that
Ew.
right now.
Oh, that's
Uh,
gross.
But what I told Damien to do because he knew it was going to run. I told him it was on the ceiling, to smack it on the ceiling so it falls down, and then just slap it down with his shoe. And that's what he did because that's exactly what happened.
How many
And
shoe-
it went in your mouth?
What?
Oh no, that's not what went in his
No,
mouth.
no.
Oh my god. I thought you meant it went in your mouth
Well,
and you got too scared of
Something
it.
came in, like I don't know if it was a piece of dust or something got in my throat.
I'm sending you the pic right
Okay.
now. Enjoy that when you get it. Okay, so she was hiding under the bleacher. She crawls out. He sees her. They do a little chase, a little 40-yard
Why the fuck
dash.
did you send that to me?
It's huge, right?
I
It's
know
huge.
what bug that is though.
What
We
is
have-
it?
I don't know what it's called, but we have
You've
them
seen
in
it
our
before,
house
right?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just pure evil. It's not as evil as the Blissfield Butcher, but he catches her at about the 50-yard line. He goes to stab her, and they get transported to an Aztec temple.
You're not wrong. There's thunderous clouds appearing above them. There's an Aztec temple. I'm sure there's a pharaoh somewhere. This all happens as he's wielding the knife and he brings it down on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And it looks like when he does it, he's affected by this.
They both
Yeah.
are affected because he can't finish the stab. Like, he can't, really get deep in there.
And we're talking about a butcher. This guy kills mercilessly. He loves killing high schoolers.
So he could get through all those doors easily and he couldn't stab through the beaver uniform.
No, he couldn't.
No.
It's my only flaw with the movie so far.
Yep. They then bring her to the police station. The cursed blade, I'm calling it the cursed blade from now on, is put into storage, evidence storage, whatever you want to call it. Millie then lays in a bathtub, right? Is now the next scene?
Yeah, she's taking a bath, and I don't know if she has salts in there, but she definitely has like foam and what do you call that? Bath
Bomb?
Bubbles. It's just bubbles. It's a bubble bath.
Just bubble bath.
So just bubbles, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked comfortable. Like I haven't had a bubble bath in a long time, but I kind of wanted to get in there. Does Gwyneth Paltrow have any bubble? I know we've just been on talking about Gwyneth Paltrow, but.
I don't know. I don't know if she has bubble bath. She probably
we'll have to look that up.
Next to her $60 candles.
That's a fact.
What we won't have to look up is that the sister and the mom are arguing and kind of ruining her bubble bath.
The muffled voices of Charlene, who's the sister, yelling at her drunken mother for not picking her up because she prefers the devil's juice. And then at night, while she's sleeping, Millie is getting nightmares reoccurring of the incident.
Yes. So from this point on, with what's about to happen, we are going to refer to the characters as their actor names. Otherwise, this is going to get very confusing in the review otherwise.
And it's very difficult because what happens is essentially is a Freaky Friday Ginyu Force body swap.
Yeah.
Where what happened in the Aztec temple, I'm just kidding about the Aztec temple, what happened on the football field.
They really do, in all seriousness, transport to an Aztec temple, though.
When he stabbed her with the ancient dagger, and overnight, both her body... Millie's, we'll call her essence. Her soul goes into the body of the butcher, and the butcher's soul goes into the body of Millie.
Yes.
So we're going to refer to them as their actor names. Vince. Vince would actually be Millie, though. You know?
Yeah, we can just refer to them as Millie and Butcher.
Yeah.
It's going to be so hard. We're going to have to do this very creatively.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Like Brian said, things are about to get freaky. Millie wakes up in her bed, but like Brian said, now it's not Millie, it is Vince. Vince wakes up in a, what do you want to call this? It's an abandoned building, but there's just dead animal carcasses.
Didn't they call it the sawmill?
So the butcher, it looks like
a sawmill.
It's a factory. Okay. There's a lot of mannequins. It looks kind of normal. I maybe questioned it a little bit because of the one mannequin that has nails in its face, but otherwise it looked fine.
Yeah, completely normal. It kind of looks like your bedroom. He's up and he is confused because he is now Millie, and then he sees a bum. He asked the bum if he's a girl, and the bum's like, what kind of drugs are you on? Like, I want those. I'll literally suck your entire dick for them.
He actually said, he's like, no, I will literally suck your entire dick. Not a piece, the whole thing.
Yes. But Millie just runs away.
And now the butcher in Millie's body is having breakfast with the fam and just shoving food in her.
I fucking love this scene. Like, just pushing it.
Butcher's getting the fill.
You can tell the butcher hasn't eaten anything except raw animals in like a very long time. So now that he's getting pancakes and eggs, he is living it up. Then Millie attempts to kill her sister, though, but the mom takes the knife from her thinking she was just going to wash it or something.
Yeah, this is obviously the butcher. Because I remember from the beginning, Charlene's the one that interrupted the butcher from killing Millie in the beginning, so the butcher remembers her well.
Yeah. Then the mom says you have to go to school, even though she literally was almost murdered the night before, which seems kind of weird. This is when Millie... All right, so how do you want to actually refer to
the butcher is now in Millie's body.
So we'll just call Millie's actual character, we'll call the butcher, and then Vince Vaughn will actually just call Millie?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, all right. So now Millie is walking around, and she goes up to Mr. Daniels, and like she's like going to talk to him, but then like people start recognizing her as the serial killer.
Correct. Because now the butcher's face is broadcasted all over network television because of the events of the previous night. So they're seeing Millie as the butcher, and they're going after her.
Yes. So now I am going to point out probably my favorite scene in every like piece of this movie is Vince Vaughn's run.
Great run.
So Vince Vaughn, his 18-year-old high school girl run is just like both his hands up with his palms forward and just swaying them back and forth as he runs. It is the best. I laughed every single time. It like never got old.
Yeah, it's interesting because a few things. Number one, that's your run when you see a bug.
Fair. Actually fair.
Number two, there's definitely some girls that run like that, but you have to understand, there's like a lot of girls don't run like that.
Well, yeah, all right. So that's why she's not an athlete.
Which is why it's funny and it works.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's girls that run track, so I'm like, that's not really realistic. No. But it is funny because, there's probably girls, she's not like a pampered girl, though. She just doesn't do the sports.
Yeah, she's just a girl.
She's not like one of those mean girls. Like the mean girls would be the ones that are dancing because they're too busy with their Louis Vuitton bags or whatever they do. I don't know what girls do. Sorry.
You say, wait, I always assume girls just all, had pillow fights and played with their Louis Vuitton bags.
they had Louis Vuitton fights in their bags.
I didn't get the memo that I was supposed to have a Louis Vuitton bag by this age.
Sorry.
Thank you, though.
Gucci boots, Starbucks.
Gucci is kind of ugly.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know. I wear sweatpants.
Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses.
Those
Well,
exist?
you're the sunglass guy.
It's true.
Wait, those exist?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We are the wrong people to be asking that.
Who? The butcher, though, is now going to grab a jacket from the closet because apparently he likes that red jacket and goes to school.
I love the first scene here with the butcher where he walks in and he just tells his two friends to fuck off.
Yeah, hilarious. And you know what's so funny? Benanti, because I was watching about Benanti and Tim. Benanti's like, she puts on a red jacket and the world changes. Everybody's different towards her as the butcher.
Well, it's like that jacket apparently just made her like super hot and like
she's literally
it changed her whole outlook on life.
Looks the same, just puts on a red jacket and maybe just like walks stronger through the hallway, like more of a strut.
Yeah. Well, she has more of a presence.
Pulls her hair back and puts on red lipstick. Bam, she's good.
She's good. Like everyone was like jaw dropping. But Anthony, he also said that he didn't know if this actress's face was too small for her head. So I just thought I would throw that input in there.
Huh.
Interesting take, Benanti.
You know Benanti, like Jake Gyllenhaal kisses weird.
Oh, well, he has a thing for Gyllenhaal.
This guy has it out for Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, because he judged Gyllenhaal's kissing from Donnie Darko, and I thought he was a good kisser.
He was a good kisser. You'd love to get kissed by Jake.
No, I would love to get kissed by Jenna Malone.
That's fair. And Maggie
Gyllenhaal. Ugh.
You're interesting.
She's got this interesting face I kind of like.
Now the butcher's like, Ryler, we need to go somewhere very, very private because now the butcher who's in Millie's body is like popular because she's a survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like a school celebrity.
Well, maybe that's why everyone was staring at her because they didn't expect her to be in school that day.
Good point.
That's a good point.
And she kind of owned it. Like she commanded it. So that makes more sense. Then Millie is the butcher, smells some hot dog water and goes into school. I just made that a point because she literally, Vince Vaughn in her body smells hot dog water. It's like, oh, is that hot dog water? You ever just smell hot
chocolate
dog?
starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Limp Bizkit reference for those listening.
But back with the butcher and Ryler, the butcher starts stroking her hair, and she's like, "I have no time for this. I have AP Bio."
Yeah, somehow all the kids in this movie are like kind of smart.
Yeah, but she has to drop a deuce real quick, so she goes to the bathroom. But before she gets to do that, she sees
the killer,
Millie showering.
Yeah,
who's the killer?
No, so what happens is she takes the butcher, who like everyone thinks is Millie. She takes her into like the locker room and she's like, "Give me the dirty deets. Like, what happened? What did he do to you? Like, tell me everything." But the butcher's just like looking around trying to see like what he can kill her with. So she's like, "Whatever, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and if you're not ready to talk when I get back, I'm leaving here, freak." Goes to the bathroom, leaves, sees the butcher, runs back toward Millie, and the butcher in Millie is like, "We gotta go. Here, you gotta hide." And she stuffs her in the cryo chamber.
So this is when I knew this school was really rich.
When they had a cryo chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, is that what I think it is? Turned up negative 300 degrees Fahrenheit?
Oh, yeah. I had no idea what it was.
That's just one of those things where you're supposed to like just make yourself cold, right? To like reset your body.
Yeah.
Doesn't like Joe Rogan do that from time to time? I think I remember him mentioning something
there's
that.
There's a lot of training. There's that Wim Hof guy that does some weird ice water training, and then Joe Rogan does some fucking weird shit.
Yeah.
It's supposed to help heal your muscles quicker,
okay.
I think. So you can like recover faster and go back to practice or some shit.
All right. So Ryler's muscles are super healed because that thing is cranked to minus 300.
That's a fact.
So healed that she can now separate her body into millions of pieces.
That's true because Millie, who's obviously in the butcher's body, is going to open the door. Ryler, who's still on the phone, frozen solid, falls down, shatters.
Yeah.
Into millions of pieces, like you said. Then
Millie, as Vince Vaughn, finds the shattered pieces of Ryler all over the floor. So I know this is getting confusing to listen to.
It's getting confusing to talk about.
Yes.
For sure.
We're doing our best. Now
just bear with it, and if you don't understand it, go back 10 minutes.
Yes.
You'll be fine.
So now Millie goes to woodshop class.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen here.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Because that's when, what's his face? He cuts his finger at woodshop class.
Yeah, okay, yes.
And she just starts sucking the blood off his finger.
She sucks
Which I kind of want to passion bump that. Sure. Is that fair?
No, whose finger was it?
Was it Booker?
Yeah, it was Booker.
Booker's finger gets sucked here, for sure.
She starts sucking the blood off Booker's finger. And I got to passion bump it.
Passion bump! Passion bump! Passion bump!
Phil thinks it's hot, the other kid that's there, and the teacher basically tells her to stop being a piece of shit.
Yeah, I love this because he essentially, like, what he says is, like, that she just, like, sleeps around and flirts with all these boys, the way he puts it, when clearly this girl does not do any of that.
No, it's like, I still could not believe this was a real person in a movie.
Yeah.
You know who this teacher would get along with? The professor from Black Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Carrie Yule's character.
Yeah.
They would be best friends.
Guy's a psycho. Both psychos. Millie as the butcher is going to meet the friends now.
Yes. She shows up and they just run away.
It's so funny too. They're running and I don't know what her one friend's name is, the guy.
Josh.
Josh is like, "You're black and I'm gay. We're fucked."
Yeah, it's great.
Tropes.
It's a very self-aware movie. I like it when they do stuff like that. They like kick him in the balls. They like start throwing things at him.
Food on him and plates. I think they have like a fucking pot handle fight.
Yeah. And he like Millie is just trying to explain, like, it's me. I'm not the butcher.
Drops the weapon. He's like, please, it's me. Drops the weapon, and then they still attack him. It's so funny.
Which is fair.
No, he's like, if I drop my weapon, he's like, why would I do that? He's like, if I was a killer, I wouldn't drop my weapon. And then they just still attack him.
Yeah. Wait, like, because it's fair. Because, like, if, like, Damien and someone swap bodies, I ain't believing that shit.
You'd believe it.
No.
Like, their reactions were super, like, on point.
Eventually, though, they do believe because Millie just starts answering questions that only she would know.
And she does the mascot dance.
Does the mascot dance. Fucking biggest crush is Booker Hooker.
What a name.
They do a quick shake bitch, and they believe her.
Yeah. She explains about the Ladola, aka the cursed blade, and then Josh looks it up and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is a real thing." And I love how their whole thing now is like, let's go to the Spanish teacher to learn about Aztec sacrifice.
They need to go to Senora, and Senora translate it. They have no idea what she's saying. She's like, "Understand this: souls are swapped for a permanent change after 24 hours if they don't fix the ritual." Basically, what's going to happen is she, as now in Vince Vaughn's body, is going to have to stab the butcher who's in Millie's body by 12 a.m.
Yeah. So they have 9 hours left. They established at this point.
Or else they will permanently remain in their bodies.
Yes.
Well, I think it was that if he didn't successfully kill her, they would swap bodies, complete the sacrifice,
yes,
right?
That is correct. Since he didn't kill her with the knife at the beginning, that is why they swapped bodies.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, it would have probably killed him too, right? Because he started also bleeding, so technically you sacrificed both of you.
That's a good point, actually. Maybe it would have killed both of them, but he wouldn't have known that, so I guess.
Yeah, and we don't know the specifics of this ritual. No. Just what the Spanish teacher's telling us.
I think they gave you just enough that you need, though.
Yeah,
any more would have been kind of redundant.
Yeah. Then Millie goes into the boys' bathroom, because she is technically a boy now, and the kid that barks at her, like Bob from The Mirror, she just pins him up against the wall and says to never do that again, also while wolfing at him, and then he pisses himself.
Yeah, the kid pisses himself.
Sucks to suck.
Can you blame her the frustration she had from being in that bathroom and seeing cock gobbler scribbled all over the bathroom walls?
Yeah, it's a real shame.
Hey, it's about that time for me to blabber on about our sponsor for today's show. Oh, I farted. Look at that. But guess what? The fart has now passed on. It's dead like DMX. Rest in peace, big dog. You're a real one, just like my fart. You ever just stop and think, what do my farts look like? I mean, I think about it more than anything, including thinking about it. If our farts take form, sure, they're flammable, but in its gaseous state, does it actually become something? Humans fart on average 5 to 15 times per day. Perhaps these oopsies can be a shape, a ghost, food, the Asian guy from Disturbia. What if we can find out what they look like in the fleeting moments before they pass on to their next life, the nostrils of everybody in the room? Good thing for us, and especially you listening, the researchers and technicians at Fart Laser Company, based out of Waukegan, Illinois, which if you don't know is of course the city that runs on the human fart, has really electrified the fart laser market by birthing the fart laser. The fart laser is shot from a pointer like a normal laser that a professor with a toupee and a backlog of child support payments would use in a lecture, right near the rectum of a recent farter. Once a laser hits the flatulence, it immediately illuminates it for all to see the form it takes. The science isn't ready to really explain the variants of the fart formulations, but what we can do is shoot the laser right before the fleeting moment of the fart that leaves us forever and decipher who is farting what. Why, just the other day I shot the laser over at my own butthole and I must have been rather filthy that day because the fart was an outline of New York City. What we do know for sure is that a normal laser pointer has a reach of about 100 meters. Feel free to grab a telescope and peek out at your neighbor keeling over by the pool to let out a quick, well, what do you know, and get a peep at that fart's form. It's like a stinky constellation that'll hang tight, but be quick or you might miss it. To put this in perspective, the fart laser can travel up to 1 mile, which is essentially 1.6 kilometers. We're math guys here. So that'll run you about 5,200 feet. If you like Joe Namath, 1,700 yards. If you're self-conscious about your sex life, 63,000 inches. And of course, if you own a motorboat, roughly 0.87 nautical miles. Buy this product now. It's only $67,000 for an extraordinary, a revolutionary product. If you order now with the promo code Light Up My Gaseous Canned Sardines, Fart Laser Co. will give you 40% off your first order. Imagine that. Think twice about putting a down payment on your next new house, newlyweds, and illuminate farts. Back to the Vince Vaughn girl thing we're doing now. Shane, you okay?
From this scene, though, we go to the butcher, who now fights the shop teacher, the wood shop teacher. And
he kind of beats the shit out of her.
That's another thing. I do like
does.
that they did this in this movie, though. Just because the butcher is in her body doesn't mean he's still as strong as he was. He's still just this weak-ass 18-year-old girl.
It's not like 40-year-old serial killer strength.
Exactly. So, like, this shop teacher is just kicking the shit out of him. What's sick about this scene, though, is I know she came at him with, like, a screwdriver or whatever, but he has no remorse in beating the shit out of her.
Yeah, that's another thing. These guys fucking up a high school girl.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Like, he initially is like, self-defense, and then just starts, like, kicking her in the face.
Exactly. Self-defense, and he's fucking just kicking her on the floor. This guy's a psycho.
It's wild.
I love this kill, though.
Oh, no, this is great. Because he thinks she's done, but she's not. So she stabs him with a screwdriver. He falls onto the saw blade table, and then she saws him in half.
It's a clean saw. She splits him in half.
Well, those saws are sick, so I could see that going.
Oh, you like the 6 saws?
Yeah, I love 6 saw.
Shane's been giving me this weird look, Jen, this whole episode. Like, I can't really tell. He's like a little tiger.
Very longingly.
Yeah, he's like into some shit right now.
Yeah, I mean, we did make him show us his butt earlier.
Yeah, and he's also growing a mullet, which honestly is not a bad look for him.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's also coming back. I swear, it's really coming back.
Mullets?
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, it's very 2021. I will eventually get a haircut, though.
But don't cut the back, though. Let the mullet grow.
No, the whole thing is going to get cut.
Don't you want to be like, I'm the guy that has the mullet? That's me.
Doesn't Miley Cyrus have a mullet right now?
She has everything now.
She has Chainsmoker voice.
True.
I know a couple people. That one country singer has it.
Toby Keith?
No.
Dierks Bentley?
No. Morgan Wallen, and I know that Theo Vaughn has one.
I'll be honest, I don't know either of the two people.
I don't know anyone that you're talking about.
One is like a mega country star, and one of them's like a mega comedian.
My country doesn't go past Luke Bryan. I don't listen to country. I just know he exists.
Agreed.
And also Riff Raff has a mullet.
Who's Riff Raff?
The rapper.
Oh.
You remember like James Franco's character?
Oh, yes, from...
Interesting.
They argue that they stole his persona from rapper Riff Raff.
But we need a close-up on his insides, which we get.
Because like I said, this movie is actually very graphic.
Yes,
like
it is rated R.
This movie's really graphic.
God damn it, Bri.
She leaves the room, fucking pigs, and sees herself, in a way. She sees
the butcher body.
Millie.
Yeah. And so I love this scene too, because then the butcher is just like, help! Police! The butcher's here!
Yeah.
And the police go after Millie.
Mm-hmm.
And the chase is on, as I like to put it.
So she runs back into the car with her friends. But Josh can't start the car. They eventually get in, drive off. But it's funny because they stick with this because the body of Vince Vaughn is too big. They need Nyla to like scooch up in the car.
Yeah.
She just fucking scooch. Charlene gets a call. She's the cop. And she starts like chasing them and tells them to pull over. She doesn't know what's going on. So they pull into the parking lot of Discount Bonanza and head in.
And Millie hides in the changing room. And this is a very long scene about Millie talking to her mom about her dead dad, pink polos, and eventually grabbing dinner. So the mom is technically asking the daughter out on a date.
Yes, that is true. For dinner.
Yeah. She says she can't because she's married. Yeah, it's just a lot of character building.
Yeah, it's character building. She goes into a little story about like her kids and how like her older daughter is like kind of like doesn't focus on what happened and just focuses on work.
Yeah.
The younger daughter's kind of shouldering the burden, is always with her. And then this is where like Millie in the butcher bodies kind of gets across the message like maybe you need to give your daughter some space.
Yeah.
And she just kind of gets that out. But
maybe you need to not drink that much.
Yeah, that would help. True. You know, maybe if you picked up your daughter, she wouldn't have got stabbed on a football field.
Maybe. Very true.
That's also a point.
So the sister runs in and grabs the mom to call Millie that the butcher is loose, make sure everyone is safe.
The butcher's loose. I gotta make sure everyone's safe.
Yes. Fuck off. The two friends then take Millie and give her a mask of Aaron Rodgers to wear.
He's not kidding. He literally walks out with an Aaron Rodgers mask to disguise him.
Isn't Vince Vaughn a Bears fan?
In real life?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
That makes sense because I think he's a Cubs fan.
Oh, yeah, then he'd be a Bears fan.
I think so, yeah.
So this disguise works because they escape.
No, they and I think while they're like walking back, they notice that like Millie is like Butcher in Millie's body is like with all of the boys.
Oh, yes. This is when they're like an arcade, golf place.
I saw an arcade. I just assumed it was the fucking Drake house.
Okay. Okay. And this is where she, like, the one football guy's, like, hitting on her. And basically, we learn she has sandpaper pussy.
Booker's going to follow
sentence
her.
I thought I'd never say.
No, in this scene, they finally canceled Homecoming. And they're like, oh, we should hold it in secret. Where should we have it? And the butcher, with all those boys, is like, let's have it at the old sawmill. They'll never think to look there. But that's where, like, he lives. So all of his, like, torture stuff is there. And it would be such an easy place for him to kill. So he's literally just laying a trap for them.
Yeah. He's like, oh, let's fucking party on top of all my knives. You guys want to see my knife collection? My fucking mannequins.
Look, I can throw them.
Yeah.
This is when the butcher and Booker go back into a different room, right?
The butcher goes first, and Booker looks like concerned about her, so he goes after her.
But Millie and the friends come in to save Booker, and they subdue the butcher and bring her to Josh's house and tie him up.
Yep. Of course, Booker does get knocked out unconscious during this whole thing.
Yes, because then when Booker wakes up on the couch, they have to explain to Booker what's going on.
It takes a while, and he tries to explain like literally everything, but he still wants to leave. And it doesn't help that the butcher is also trying to throw them off the path as well by saying, like, do you understand you guys are all going to get jail time? So he's like trying to make him feel scared.
Yes.
He wants to leave, but then Millie recites the poem she previously left in Booker's locker. Yeah. He's reciting this fucking stupid poem about tempests, blindness, January embers.
Yeah. Oh my God, fucking it.
My heart burns there too.
I'm surprised they didn't bring up burning loins.
They actually chose a real poem for it though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Wait, so she didn't write that?
She copied it.
Oh my God.
What a plagiarizer. What does she think she is, Julian in high school?
Oh my God. Does he watch this podcast?
He's listened to a couple episodes.
Okay, Julian.
He might skip this one.
Yeah.
You'll have to.
I hope he listens to this one.
You have to text him to listen to it.
I'll let him know. Yes. So Booker obviously believes this now because who the hell else would write a poem like that?
And then the butcher, it just cuts character right there. Butcher's just like, you're a cunt, a pathetic coward. And then Nyla shuts her up by putting a gag in her mouth.
Yeah.
To which I always ask the question, why wouldn't you just spit out the gag?
I don't know. I think if you put it deep enough, your tongue is not strong enough to
True.
push it out.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's what I assume.
This one just didn't look that deep, you know. It's like a shove in.
We should try that. Let's just shove a sock down your throat later and
let's
see what happens.
We can definitely gag each other.
Okay.
I've always been interested in that kind of thing.
In the next scene, they show like a black duct tape around her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, that's the next thing. I'm saying like initially, like when you're right though, they
is
do
just
they
a
do
sock
tape
first,
it. They just sock her in there. Like I'm gonna sock your asshole later. It's gonna be good.
Jesus Christ. You've been saying some very suggestive things to me.
No, not more suggestive than the little boys you have in your room.
Nick? That's my brother.
You're like my 26-year-old brother.
Yes. Okay. They all leave, but they leave Josh to take care of the butcher to make sure he doesn't go anywhere. And he's not happy because he knows he's dead. He even says, "It's good, great. This is when I die now."
Yeah.
So because they are leaving to go to the police station to steal the knife.
Yeah, it's time to steal the knife. They're gonna go to the police station.
Yeah, I just said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is what we're still doing.
You're talking about.
Okay.
So they're going to the police station because they have to steal the knife.
Isla goes into the police station.
Jen's covering it.
And they tell Millie's sister that, you know, the butcher is outside. You have to go outside. So she runs outside so they can steal the dagger.
Booker and Millie are in the car. And I think that Booker's in the front seat and Millie and Vince Vaughn's body is in the back seat. And Millie tells Booker, this whole thing hasn't been such a bad experience because now she feels empowered because she always used to feel bullied and, you know, she felt like powerless. But Booker's like, strength doesn't come from size. It comes from your head and your heart and those delicious tits.
I don't think that part was said.
And it kind of cuts to like Josh watching TV back at his house. Mm-hmm. He sees a commercial for Wicked Live at the Anus Theater.
The Anus Theater?
The butcher, as Millie tries to break out, but now Josh's mom is going to come home.
I actually love this scene.
It's like, why is Millie tied up in the dining chair?
Role playing. We're just role playing.
And Millie never breaks character because she's a naughty girl.
Yeah, well, that's probably role playing.
His mother wants to know more because this is kind of sexual. And Josh is like, well, Mom, that's because I'm coming out of the closet.
He says the funniest thing. She says the funniest thing too.
I'm pretty sure, like, it might not be the exact quote. And the mom's like, "You're a lot of things, but you're not straight."
But straight isn't one of them. That's so funny.
But
the butcher can break through rope.
Yes.
And the butcher's gonna break through the rope, grab the knife,
and just chase the mom and Josh.
It's a chase.
They hide in the room, and Josh calls Nyla to tell her that, like, the butcher has escaped and, like, we're in trouble.
Shit's going down.
But Charlene gets into the police station again and points a gun at Nyla, saying, just like, what the hell is going on here?
Look, what the hell is going on here?
But now, I just realized you copied me again. But now we're going back into the car.
And this is
it. Boner check, Bri.
Fucking rock hard.
Booker and Vince are discussing the poem in the back seat. Booker tells Vince he has liked her since day one. I mean, Millie. It's still Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, and
I'm calling it Vince Vaughn at this point just because this scene gets super hot.
I'm no joke. Like, I was hoping that, like, this would happen actually earlier on in the movie, just thinking about the way this movie would go. And because you do get the impression that Booker is interested in Millie early on, even though she's dirty, poor, and gross.
Yeah. So as they talk about this, Booker and Millie and Vince Vaughn's body kiss.
Passion bump, passion bump, passion bump.
And it is the biggest passion bump we have ever had on the show.
I agree.
So did they actually kiss? Because to an extent, after like the kiss happens, she like puts her hand up to his face, and I thought she pushed him away.
She does after, but they did kiss like for a little bit.
I think they kissed for a little bit.
Because then she's like, "I don't want my first kiss with you to be as Vince Vaughn," which is fair. Because she's like, "It's kind of weird that my hand is bigger than your head."
I was surprised they did that, but I was like, you know what? It's a good touch.
Yeah, I loved it. But in other news, I think Charlene thinks the butcher's it's Millie, and it's not. Vince pops into the building. She immediately starts to shoot at him, tells him to get his hands up. The butcher picks up the knife and gets in the car, drives off, almost running over Josh.
Yeah.
And Charlene tells Vince to sit down, Vince Vaughn being
Millie.
But when Booker comes into the police station, He locks her in the jail cell.
Yes.
Millie pulls the old locking her sister in there
Yes.
maneuver.
So now Josh, Nyla, Millie as Vince, and Booker, they head to the mill party to find Millie.
This party's fucking lit, by the way.
This party is insane.
This is what debauchery fest needs to be.
I don't know how they
set it up that quick.
Yes, because
I was
it was
thinking
only
that too.
2 hours ago that Millie, as the Butcher, suggested this
You
party.
can please explain to me all we want, but this party is so fucking lit.
This is what we're going to make Debauchery Fest.
This needs to be Debauchery Fest.
Yeah.
So if anybody
You
has
can
any
try.
ideas on locations to pull something like this off, if you've seen this movie, let me know, because we need to do this for Debauchery Fest. Problem is, COVID restrictions would probably come into effect.
Hey, I'm almost vaccinated, so
I think we need more than 10 people for Debauchery Fest.
That's a good point.
here we do.
I can corral a good 25.
I know the same people as you, Bri.
So we can corral a good 25. But we
Yeah.
need at least, for Debauchery Fest, we need a good 50 heads.
Yeah. And we need at least 50 heads of Crystal Head vodka.
You're a fucking dog. You're such a dog. I can't wait to put a sock in your asshole tonight.
Oh.
So
somebody-
Millie then leads a group of football players to the back.
Slut.
And, well, I mean, it's the Butcher. Come on.
Good point.
When the one football guy goes back with her, 2 more football guys are there. And then they have, like, honestly, probably the smoothest pickup line. 3 guys, 3 holes.
Do the math.
Do the math.
Wait, no, when he originally found the Butcher, he says to her, I've never made a girl as dry as sandpaper. Like, he was so offended by that.
That was a great line, though.
It was. It almost works. She takes the bottle of alcohol, but instead, she pours it onto the floor, smashes it over one guy's face, cuts the other guy's throat with it, then finds the conveniently placed chainsaw and chainsaws the other guy's dick off.
Yeah. I would like...
As one does.
Yeah. That's a chainsaw guy, for sure. That's a dick. That's gone.
It's not there anymore.
It's almost as bad as with that guy, the hobo with a shotgun that got his dick chainsawed off.
Oh my god, that was rough.
Was it chainsawed or was it, what did he do? He shotgunned it, of course.
Shotgun dick.
Yeah, from like point blank range.
Yeah, shotgun dick.
So the group's gonna go into the dance now.
Yep. And they're just, searching for Millie's body
That's
now.
true. Phil is gonna take Josh a little outside the party to where he saw Millie. Vince as Millie sees the dead guys on the ground.
Yes. Then we cut back to Josh and Pete, was it?
Phil.
Phil. I knew it was a name with a P.
No, he like says he knows where Millie is.
Yes, that's
So
why they went back here. And this turns into American Beauty real quick.
Very quick.
Phil kisses Josh. Josh pushes him off. Then Phil, like the dad in American Beauty, calls him a loser faggot. And then, which is literally, honestly, is like, it has to almost be like a callback to American Beauty, right?
It's what it felt like. It was like
Probably.
the exact same thing.
Yeah.
What's
And-
Josh say after that?
He does. He says something really funny too, Josh.
Like
Yeah.
it's like, wow, really self-aware. It's
Yes.
but he says like something after that and then
Butcher.
I don't remember what he says after that. He says, wow, really self-aware. And then the Butcher just like pulls a hook out, like cuts through the wall somehow with a hook and hooks this guy's eye.
Yeah.
and just he's gone. He gets pulled into the void, never to be seen again.
That is
Yep.
a fact.
Then the rest of the group stumbles upon this, and once again the chase is on.
Chase is on.
And
Once
they're-
again.
yeah, they're running after Millie, who is the Butcher as Millie, who is running away because they had the knife. And Vince is like doing his palm swaying run. So both friends just jet past her.
Yeah. They jet past her, and this is a fight for the Dola, pretty much.
Yes.
They need to fight for the Dola, and this is a scramble too because the cop that pops off in the
Oh yeah, we should mention
crowd of
that.
people, so everyone's now kind of going haywire in the sawmill party, which is going to be pretty much a replica of our debauchery fest.
Yes, except without the cop shooting in the middle of a crowd of
I
kids.
might get someone dressed up like a cop, and maybe you'll invite some creepy kids.
I don't know kids. I hate kids.
I mean, you love
It's
your
always
kid.
yeah, it's true. You love your daughter. It's always
So-
a good idea for a cop to just go into a super packed crowd and shoot up randomly because that won't backfire whatsoever.
Yeah, no.
Like this guy.
What if he knocked a tile loose and it fell and hit someone in the head? That's a
I
lawsuit.
like the bullet just ricochets and goes down into someone.
Yeah, what if the bullet curved? What if this was wanted?
Holy hell!
It isn't wanted though. So they get the knife from the killer. They're about to stab him, but the timer goes off. They're out of time.
Out of time.
But We cut back to a scene we definitely didn't mention earlier in the movie that Booker had mentioned to Millie, always set your clock 5 minutes early.
Pro tip.
So you're always on time.
She had a problem for being late because not only is she dirty, gross, and poor,
she's late.
She's late all the time.
So they then realize they still have 5 more minutes. They stab the butcher, and the bodies have been swapped back. The police show up. They say, shoot that man. Obviously, they're police in the year 2021. They instantly shoot. And the butcher is down.
Butcher down. Or is he?
I don't know how he survived that.
No, because he was shot 3 times. They do show that.
Also fucking flatlines. Because after the scene, they see that the evidence of the doula is in a bag. The police have it.
Mm-hmm.
But Booker puts hands on her face. They have a passionate kiss. I'm kind of over this at this point.
Yeah, no, this doesn't need to be passionate.
We were expecting it.
Like, we already hit our high, so this is just like a as expected kind of a deal.
So this is the come down.
So now people that understand how we actually grade passion. I'm happy that we're all like completely in on our passionate moments.
Yeah.
Or in sync.
We were very in sync
we
this
understand
episode.
the passion
We needed
roller
this
coaster.
movie.
Yes. So they kiss. We see a shot of the ambulance leaving with Vince Vaughn. Now, as the butcher, they're back to normal.
He's dead. He's flatlined.
No,
Like,
well,
No,
so
so
what
what
it was is the little thing that you keep on your finger to do your pulse. He knocked it off.
Clever.
So that's why it flatlined.
Yeah.
So, I thought he flatlined, but the truth is, there's that thing on the finger that he knocked off, so it wasn't really him.
So we can assume,
I'm walking
based
off.
on that everyone in that ambulance is probably dead then, right?
100%. 100%.
They're fucking dead.
We cut back to Millie's house. They're all happy that everything is back to normal, but everything is not back to normal because the door is open.
The door's open.
And why is the door open?
Well, I'll tell you why, Shane. Because the door is open. No, because the butcher's in there, and
And he knows her address.
yeah,
He would. He was there for breakfast.
and he grabs her arm.
Yeah.
Calls her weak and meager. She's a lesser version of her drunk, pathetic loser mom.
That was kind of accurate.
And
And a weaker version of her sister.
Also accurate.
He grabs her. Her sister's right behind them. Sister goes to shoot. He already emptied all the bullets out of the gun. And then they commence like a fight with and he knocks out like the sister and the mom. And after they told Millie to run, and then Millie comes back ready to stab him, and she pauses, and he does something weird. He looks at her and he says, "Keep going," or something like that. And obviously, like, she hesitates, so then he knocks her to the ground. And it's almost like he wanted her to actually do it, to be strong for like a hot minute. Like, he wanted her to kill him, or at least stab him.
I did miss a little part because, like, when he approaches her, he does put the knife
Yeah.
up to her neck.
Yeah. There's
I
like a
just thought
whole
he was going
fight.
back for the
Yeah.
kill.
That's what I thought too.
No,
I
he
didn't-
was, but then she went to go stab him, and he paused and he said, "Keep going." And remember, like, he like holds her face and he's like, he gives her like some weird fucking pep talk.
Maybe he wanted a serial killer in training.
Well, no,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
interesting. 'Cause I thought maybe if you're going along, maybe because he was in her body, he knows, like, and he even mentions like how weak she is, so
Yeah.
he knows. So maybe he just wanted more of like a fight. Maybe that gave him
Yeah.
some kind of psychological.
True, that could give him
pleasure.
like a thrill that
Yeah.
like she's actually fighting back and making it tougher for him.
I thought what you thought though, Shane. I was like, does he kind of want to train her to be stronger and be like another killer? Like, I thought that for like a hot minute.
It would have been interesting a route to take, but the route they took was he gets the shit kicked out of him after the ball kick by all 3 of them, and he gets impaled with a spear and the movie ends.
Yes,
That was a good turn.
you're right. That's exactly how it ended, and that's how it ended.
that's freaky. And I'm going to throw it out there. I really like the movie.
You did.
I mean, and not like an excellent movie category, but
Yeah.
I'll go into my rating because that's what I do. I always start off the ratings. 7 out of 10.
Why?
Do you actually want to know why?
I mean, we always explain. You're just gonna just say 7 and that's it.
What if I just want to say 7 out of 10?
All right, then that's on to me.
No, I'll go. Fuck you. All right. I'm giving this movie a 7 out of 10. Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn. Everything he does in this movie as the high school girl is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
It just, the run, the way he talks, kissing Booker, it's all so funny. The movie, honestly, was just, I thought it was written well, directed well, and I thought the acting was phenomenal. Like you said, even the over-the-top teacher, like everyone played their role so well. And like I said, I'm a kill guy. The kills in this movie are fantastic. A good amount of gore, which I enjoy to see. It's just, I liked it. It was super entertaining for a horror comedy. 7 out of 10. Shoot it to you, Kobe.
7 out of 10 for me as well. It was very funny, very entertaining. Obviously, Vince Vaughn was a highlight. I think we all expected him to be, as long as the script was good, and the script was good. Very good kills, surprisingly good kills. You know, they got creative with like a chainsaw, a regular saw in a woodshop class, the fucking brutal kills with bottles.
Yeah.
It was very funny, and it was very fluid. It was kind of gory, which was pretty cool. I liked all the characters were good, like every single one. Josh is the funny gay guy. The friend Nyla, just an absolute smoke show, whether you agree with me or not.
She was a good-looking girl. I wouldn't say smoke show, good-looking girl.
Great high school girl, amazing high school girl.
Okay,
she's like in her 20s.
I know she is. That's why I was fine saying it. But when you're just throwing out high school girl, let's move on.
Amazing high school. No, I'm just kidding. No, I really enjoyed it. It's a 7 out of 10. Definitely will love to watch this movie again.
Agreed. On to you, Jen.
I love this movie. I actually bought it. I knew I was going to like it, so I bought it because I am like one of the biggest Vince Vaughn fans. Like my up there favorite actors are Gene Wilder, Bill Murray, and Vince Vaughn. I was thrilled when I saw this movie come out, and I'm so happy we got to do it so early. But I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I'm 1,000% going to watch this again on my own accord because it made me laugh. I thought the kills were great. And like you guys know, you guys are much more into gore than I am. But like combining them, I think that you're right. The writing was good. They just did a really good job. And I forget the actress's name that played Millie. What was her name?
Catherine Newton.
Catherine Newton, I thought did an incredible job as the serial killer. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
I was kind of stunned with like her performance. I was like, oh, she's like, I didn't expect her to do bad, but she like knocked that one out. That was great. So I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. I will definitely be watching this again, and I'm gonna show it to like 3 more people after we get off here.
Nice. All right.
But gentlemen, we have no short of deaths for this movie. So who would we like to put into our Book of the Dead, our Necronomicon? We would place our Necronomicon somewhere near Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy, but that seems like a bit too much for the people in the Necronomicon, and they still probably don't deserve that if a rainbow's shooting out of it. So I'd rather just give it to the Leprechaun and keep it in the Gin's lamp.
All right. I already know my vote, so I will go right there.
Yeah, it's woodshop teacher.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know the guy's name.
Okay.
That was
He had a
mine,
name,
too.
didn't he, Professor? Or
It was like teacher something, but it's mine. Woodshop guy. I'll look him up real quick, but the woodshop teacher.
The guy was just such like I still can't believe this guy's a character, but he is, and is
Mr. Daniels?
Mr. Daniels was the guy with the wiener dog,
Yeah.
with the black dog.
You're right.
I'll find him.
Yeah. So that death was brutal, but it was awesome, and that guy was kind of scummy, which made it better, I guess. Yeah, it was definitely him for me. I'm just gonna call him woodshop teacher Shane. I don't think you have to get.
Yeah, because I can't find him.
No, I want to know because like you definitely used his name.
There's a guy named Cooter Scriggins in this movie.
Of course, that's the coot.
Ginny's dad, Ginny's mom, Mr. Bernardi.
Oh, Ginny's the girl in the beginning. With
It has to be Mr. Bernardi, right?
Yeah, it's the Bernard.
Yeah. All right. So Mr. Bernardi. Unless
Yeah, I think
Jen,
that is
did you have someone else you want to just throw out there?
No, I'm for that. That every other person was just like a high school person. I think maybe the backup would have been the girl who got frozen to death. But
That's a good one. The chainsaw guy. Was the guy who got chainsaw? That wasn't the fucking sandpaper dude, was it?
It was.
yeah, that was Sam.
That was sandpaper, dude.
That's not a bad one. But yeah, the cryogenic one was good
Yeah.
too.
They were all cool. Even the opening bottle guy, like you said.
Opening bottle guy was cool.
But all right.
Mr. Bernardi. All right, Shaney boy, have you prepared a eulogy for
Yes.
Mr. Bernardi?
I have Mr. Bernardi. You were a character that was so over the top, such a dick, that not even Stephen King could write you in one of his books. You were so insane that you screamed self-defense and then mercilessly beat a young girl. And when you got sawed in half, let's be honest, you kind of had it coming. So for that, you're going in the Necronomicon.
You're in there.
And that, my friends, is freaky.
And that, my friends, is freaky.
And that, my friends, is freaky.
And with all of that said 3 times in a row, next fucking week, we are at the 1-year anniversary episode.
Let's fucking go.
We will be having on special guests, Dale the Ass Eater Cancelleri, Damien the Eggman Lagrasta.
It's going to be rambunctious, and we are doing something super special in that episode. We are entering the dark web.
Yes, we are reviewing Unfriended, the Dark Web. Our first ever review was Unfriended, piece of shit movie. Now let's get dark.
It only makes sense that 1 year later, exactly to the day we're doing the sequel. We can only hope that if we get to 1 more year, there'll be Unfriended 3.
Yes.
I have
That's
my
what we're
canoe
hoping.
ready.
With all that said, we are the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week when, in all seriousness, we are going to actually enter the dark web. It's going to get kind of weird. You'll see.
Yeah, you'll hear.
So if you haven't already, please follow us on Facebook and Twitter at The Final Pod Ever. Follow us on Instagram at The Final Podcast. And if you haven't, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple. It really, really helps Apple, push out our content and recommend us to other people to listen to.
Would you call it a canoe or a kayak?
Ooh,
Yeah, right?
I'm going to say canoe.